I wanted to spend a couple of moments talking about Tara.
Yep.
Obviously, your lone senior. Uh, she's a player that I'm sure from game to game, you're not concerned about what she's going to do. She's going to always show up, right?
Right. I mean, I feel that way. I feel that way, with the exception of a couple of games where she was, one in particular comes to mind. I won't even mention it, but she was disappointed in herself. Just took some bad shots and knows. But that's the thing about seniors; they're so self-aware and they understand, where they're not, you know, living up to what they should be doing. And she could look at herself and go, yeah, I just really messed up there. I didn't trust it. I didn't trust the other teammates and whatever that looks like. But she is so consistent on a daily basis at practice, in the weight room, how she leads her team, how she talks. Been so unbelievably happy for her and with her, and just her development this year.
What is she providing this year that maybe she hasn't done previously?
Well, she was kind of the third wheel, honestly, in a lot of situations. And it's a lot easier to be that. Ask all those, University of Iowa players that, got shots because of Caitlin Clark. There's just that happens all the time. Now all of a sudden they have to, you know, be the one every single night. And she's number one on the scouting, you know, report that everybody's going to make a plan to stop. And so I just love how she's approached the year. I love her. She didn't have to speak a lot in years past, and now she absolutely steps forward and is the senior leadership that she's received over the years here. I mean, she's stepping into that role. She's unafraid. She doesn't care if she offends. And if there's a conflict, she knows what this program's about. She knows what she's been through. She knows how she's been taught and led. I just think she's a great representative of everything we want our program to be about. And she's giving her heart and soul. She's gotten herself in shape better this year. Her game has expanded in every way. She's unafraid of the big moments and taking big shots. And again, I just love the fact that she's now got a voice for our program, and she's the one everybody should be listening to.
What are maybe some of the intangibles that you are grateful for in terms of Tara?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it takes a lot of, it might just be resiliency, the work ethic. Again, you know, she's an example of someone who's really transformed who she is as a player and she expanded. She was one dimensional. She had one move. I remembered vividly, I think vividly as I remember, I don't think UW guarded her in a game her freshman year. Like literally she was the person that they sagged completely off of, and she'd catch it at the elbow and she wouldn't shoot it because she was in such a, her game was such a drive. She needed to drive it and could always find points driving it, and then all of a sudden just lost her confidence. And now can you imagine anyone doing that? So just the growth of her game, taking, a really athletic body, and growing that thing into more than just a one-dimensional, a driver, right only, and it added, driving both ways. Has added a back to the basket game and a post game. Obviously, her three-point shooting. So those just don't come through one summer or anything like that. That's a person that's committed to, the process of 4 years of being in the gym, of not settling for who she is as a basketball player, um, failing and getting back up and going at it again. So I just appreciate her work ethic. I appreciate, again, her leadership. I appreciate, you know, high character person and someone who sets a great standard for our team on and off the court, in the classroom, sets a great demand for our young ones so that they understand the importance of the classroom. Just everything you want your senior to be. I think she represents our program, as good as we've ever had it as a senior.
One last one. What does the future hold for Tara?
Well, I think she's good enough to, play obviously for a lot of years basketball wise. I think she's going to be sought after. She can play overseas for sure. I'd love to see her get into a camp, the WNBA camp. Clearly, I think she's on the surface. She's around the perimeter of Canada basketball and playing for her national team and being a part of some of the things they're doing. She might be a great, 3-on-3 type player too on their national team just because of her size and versatility. I think she's got a professional career too from academic side of it. She can do anything, but I think for her, I think she's really loves playing, and I think she wants to play as long as she can and play all over the world. And I think she's going to be a fantastic professional player.
Good. Uh, Looking back at Saturday and the game against Gonzaga, what do you take from that moving forward this week?
Yeah, I could take so many things. I could take the fact that we had 9 rebounds in the first half, and I thought the way Gonzaga came out and just kind of manhandled us, just got into us, post kind of folded a little bit. Um, I thought we were fortunate that we turned them over because we weren't stopping them when they did get in the half court. Um, but the thing I like about us is that, finally got a little bit of a rhythm and played with a better pace, came up the floor better with more urgency and got us going a little bit from the 3-point line and getting us some easy baskets. Um, just have a lot of respect for Gonzaga and Lisa and her staff and team. They really wanted that game. I think they were more physical and more aggressive than us. And it took us a minute to kind of adjust. And I like the fact that we did and got back in it. But clearly, that's an example of some of the things we're missing. And we've had 2 great days of practice of just, we've got to play with more physicality. We've got to compete harder on the boards. Got to keep taking care of the basketball and, trusting that our offense, if we play with great pace, is going to create good shot opportunities for us. It's a
You
long
know,
season. Got a long way to go.
oh yeah, well, 6-way tie for first. It doesn't appear like there's going to be any breathers in this league.
Yeah. Again, I think it's cliche, but it does seem like, a lot of people can beat a lot of people. There's no clear, someone so much better than anyone else and they run away with it. I think matchups are crazy, and sometimes a team that we can beat, another team doesn't match up well. A team that we struggle with, someone else beats. It's just interesting how that is. So it's a tough environment. We go on the road for 2 games this week, and that's not the easiest thing to do. And we know we're going to face 2 tough teams on the road.
Okay. Thank you, Kamie.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Greg. All right, and then we have Kim Doss down in Arizona. Go ahead, Kim.
There we go. Hey, Kamie, I'm with Her Hoop Stats, and I've covered the Pac-12 for a few years, and I'm kind of following West Coast ball in general this year. So, well, you guys are on hiatus, so to speak. So I wanted to know, how do you prepare those of your returners for this year that's kind of in the middle, where you're still Pac-12, but you're competing outside?
Yeah, it's not really even something we discuss. And basketball is such I know we're in conferences, but you play 11 or 12 games out of conference. Those games were against every league and everywhere across the country that we went to. Played a real challenging schedule, which is what we in years past have done in the pack, obviously playing so many top 5, top 10, top 25 teams. So we wanted to approach, just our scheduling with the same kind of challenging environments and put our kids in those kinds of experiences. And then once you get into league, I think the hard part for us is, you don't know the nuances of a team, when you're coming in brand new. So have watched and seen San Francisco, have watched and seen Portland, have played against them every once in a while, but it's so different when you're in the league with someone and you play them twice a year. So don't feel like we're as aware of of things that teams play like and are like, and we're the new ones having to learn that, but at the same time they kind of have to learn us as well. So I just think we're just trying to survive at this point. We don't have that big target in the future about what we're going to be. We just want to be in this moment right now. We want to compete well and have a chance to win this league at the end of it and see if we can make an NCAA tournament.
And I mean, for your returners, how did they approach it? I mean, how did you help them? How do you help them through this process?
Well, again, I don't think anyone that was in our program, has been in our program, or chose us, thought this would be where we would be. I think everyone that chose us came here for a reason, besides a great university. And it was a lot to do with the Pac-12 and the league, that the challenge of that. But I think at the same time, we know we're competing against everybody in the country, and these guys are competitive, and we're not above anybody. We want to play and win any game that we're competing in. I don't have to really gear up or massage the subject. I mean, honestly, Tara wants to win this league. Tara wants to lead us and make sure that we're, winning games in this program. This is her senior year. She has a sense of urgency. She doesn't have a future with what we're going to be doing in 2 years. LA is unbelievably competitive. It doesn't matter who she plays. She just wants to compete. I think AT, those kids, this is where we are. They love this university. They love where they are. They love their teammates. And this is the hand we're dealt. And it's not awful. It's a good thing. It's a good situation for us. And we need to, step up and play our way into not just a championship or a potential NCAA bid, but we still want to be a top 25 team, and we've got a long way to go to improve ourselves on that realm.
I know you're not thinking too much about the future right now, but I mean, in some senses, you'll have some local teams now. You won't be kind of out, next year, you won't be out the remote team, so to speak. You'll have Boise State, you'll have Gonzaga, that sort of thing. I mean, do you see positives in that in the future?
I think we do. We've constantly always been the team. We've never really chartered. So we're one of the unique teams that have always done commercial. I think we were always about the only team in the pack that played that way. I think there's a lot of teams in this league right now that charter. So I think that's a hard thing. I think it's a hard thing to get to Pullman coming back from games. I think that wears and tears our bodies a little bit. So yeah, part of the regional flair and what we'll face in the future. I mean, I think that'll be better for some situations, but it's not going to change too much for us because, again, I don't foresee us being a team that's a real huge chartering. So we're still going to be waiting until the next day and getting out the next day. And I don't think it's really affected us. I think we can still win and compete at a high level doing that.
And just your philosophy there at Washington State, I mean, you've built a very strong program. When you think about your philosophy, what is it? What's most important to you?
I just want to maximize, who I am. I want to maximize my team. I want to do more with less. I don't want to look at everybody else and go, look what they have. And that's not fair. I just, I think we got a great situation here. I think we got great people. I think we got a great administration. I think we've got a great opportunity. And I know so many of these players have come to us, especially internationals. They choose this coming to America and coming to a university and playing at this level as this is the greatest opportunity that they have in their lifetime. And they're not looking around going, well, why can't I be there or there? I hate that. I want us to be present and I want us to be great every single day. And I trust that if we do that and we buy into that, we'll be rewarded in the long run for not just maybe winning games, but we become better people and better professionals and better teammates and certainly better basketball players if we just stick with it and compete and look at every single day like a great opportunity and be grateful for those.
What'd you get out of the non-conference season that's kind of helped you as you've moved forward into WCC play?
Well, I mean, I still think we struggle with the physicality of some of these, big, strong tournament type teams. I think it was a lot for our young players. We probably put too much of a challenge in front of them, but they're not afraid. I think we're starting to figure out a little bit about ourselves and having some answers based on what teams do to us. I love that. I love playing all those different styles and all those different bodies and how people guard us in zone here and man here and double the post. And I mean, I just think that's exactly what we needed over the course of these, 20 games or so. And I think it's going to benefit us in the long run as we go forward. But there's no question the game is still so much about rebounding and the physical side of it. And I think we've kind of fallen short still in those two areas, and we've really got to improve if we want to be, in the top part of this league.
Great, Kamie. And you talked a lot about Clara, but who else do you really want to see step up, especially among your younger players,
Yeah.
that'll help you have success?
Well, we have good news about Shasha. She'll be back, our little kid from France. But I think, I mean, I don't have very many people in my mind that I don't think can't help us. I mean, I literally think we need more from Candace. I think Alex is giving us that at the 5 spot. I think we got to continue to grow, D, the other kid from France, who I think is a phenomenal potential, but I think some offensive potential out there that can really help us this year. I love Shasha and what she's brought to us when we get her back. Marta from Spain is phenomenal. She's got to keep giving us, the stuff on the defensive end, but I think she has a chance to be really good on the offensive end. Kira Gardner, I mean, good Lord, Kira Gardner should be a little bit better of we know what we're going to get from her because again, she's such a shot making player. So we have weapons. I mean, we haven't quite seen them all. We haven't put them together, but I think the potential's there, and I think we're getting better. And I don't know that everybody can really say that. I think 8 weeks from now, I think we could be a significantly better team if we just stick with this and keep believing in these kids.
And having so many youngsters, what extra wrinkles does that bring to your season?
Yeah, lots of wrinkles on my face. Is that what you're mentioning? Gosh, just, sometimes we still pop in the film and we go, okay, we watch the film and we go, this is clearly something we don't know. Like after the Gonzaga game, there were things that we did that we were like, yeah, they just don't understand that yet. And, that's the hard part with the young team is a year ago, and for the last 3 years, we could have a day in between, and our players were so older and experienced and high IQ players, they could basically watch film, have an hour practice, and be ready for that next team. And they just had that kind of IQ. And we couldn't do that with Gonzaga. That was a really hard turnaround for us to really nail down who they are and what we want to do and how we want to guard specific people and players. And we messed up on that. And I think that's the thing that we're learning about this team. We got to find ways to be really concise with our scout and really beat it into their heads a little bit. And because again, I think that second day was a hard day for us to really get Gonzaga. And that'll turn, next time when we play Gonzaga, we have all week. So it all works out for everybody. But I think those are the things. Young players just can't quite grasp probably the intensity, how hard just the grind of a season is, and getting on a plane and going someplace and coming back late and getting up the next day. So I think just getting those guys adjusted is the biggest thing that we've got to continue to do.
Great. Well, I really appreciate your time, Kamie, and I'll be keeping an eye on you guys. Good luck.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.